I've thought very long and hard how I wanted to start this video because this is probably going to be one of the biggest videos on my channel this year, or one of, and I have a lot in my mind about this game. I definitely have a lot on my mind about this game. No intro, guys, if you're wondering. I just want to get straight into it because there's a lot to discuss about this game, Black Ops Cold War. And the alpha just gave us, and I'm the type of person that believes first impressions are important. First impressions are very important because it pretty much sets the tone for what's to come. And the Black Ops Cold War alpha pretty much set the tone for what's to come in Black Ops Cold War later this year. And what we saw from the alpha, my first impressions are very mixed because there are some aspects that I liked, but then there was aspects I felt disappointed in. Let's just put it that way. Maybe it's because I set my expectations way too high for this game, knowing that the game was going to be made by Treyarch, but I should have put myself in a realistic manner. This game has been developed for almost 2 years. Treyarch was in this sticky situation where they had to basically take over this game from Sledgehammer Games. And they only had 2 years to make this game. Or at least, come up with something for this game. And they had to work with Raven Software, obviously. Not only was Treyarch and Raven stuck in this sticky situation where they had to come up with the game in 2 years and have it be just as ambitious, if not more ambitious, than Modern Warfare, or even bigger in terms of scale. The whole world shuts down because of the pandemic going on. And now everyone's working from home. Everyone's at home, doing their own thing, staying safe. And Treyarch and Raven Software are just in this. They're basically in a shit fest. They had 2 years to make this game, and then they're going to spend a good portion of the year working from home because of the pandemic, unfortunately. So, going into this game or this alpha, should most people have expected, the gameplay or the game overall to be rough around the edges? Yes. Should people expect pretty much the same thing come November 13th? Yes. Now, it looks like I'm trying to shit on the game. I know that's what it sounds like just from this intro alone. But I'm not really trying to shit on this game. I actually think the game is alright. It's rough around the edges, like I said. Maybe needs some polishing, needs some more time to cook in the oven, until it's just right. But obviously that's not the case, because I thought this alpha was mediocre at best. Mediocre is the best word to describe how this alpha went. And I know a lot of people are trying to defend Treyarch and Raven and the developers. I understand the pandemic is, it's hitting everybody differently. That I understand. But for people to say, oh, it's just an alpha, the game's going to change drastically once it launches. An alpha stage indicates that the game is still in a very early stage, far from release. Most alphas are months away from release. We're in a situation where we are 2 months away from release, or almost a month away from release, since it's almost October. And we're in the alpha stage. And I know this is a common trend with gaming as a whole, where AAA titles are being unfinished and pretty much just in a beta state or an alpha state, depending on how you look at it. And the game just gets polished, within the months or the years, depending on how they support the game. This is what I feel like is going to happen to Black Ops Cold War. I like the foundation that they have for this game, but it's just the execution is not really there for me. I'm going to try and be as constructive as I can because I want this game to be good. I definitely see potential with this game. It's just, The problems that it has are major problems, and I don't think they're going to be problems that we're going to be able to fix in 2 months. For the people that are saying that it's just an alpha, we're 2 months away from release. This was just a promotion to hype up the game. The most that we'll get from these, alphas and betas is weapon tweaks, a few patch updates, a few glitch patches and stuff. Maybe some like updated textures and stuff. Nothing too major. That's why with some of the feedback is making me think, what's the point? The game's done. The game's gonna go gold within the next month or two. Or maybe sometime within this month or next month. Because they gotta start shipping out the games. They gotta start printing out the copies for, all the new consoles. For the PlayStation 5, the Series X, the PS4, and Xbox One. All those consoles. They gotta finish the game somehow. And whether you like it or not, whether it's finished or unfinished, the game's going to ship. And it doesn't help that we haven't seen everything from this game. We still haven't seen zombies. We still haven't seen, multiplayer and what it has to offer. We still don't know if there's going to be a prestige system. We don't know how Warzone's going to work. We still don't know that much about the game. And we're literally 2 months away. And then what Treyarch wants to do, or whoever's in charge of the marketing for this game, just wants to, make us go to a fucking website named pawntakespawn.com and, makes us solve Easter eggs and shit just for, a fucking trailer that, they were going to plan to release anyway. Anywho, I'm dragging all this out. I just went on a mini rant there because I think how they're handling this year's Call of Duty is ridiculous with, the promotional material and how much they've shown. I mean, they've gotten better with showing off gameplay. I mean, we're getting more gameplay now than ever in a single month of Call of Duty being announced. But still, it's ridiculous how they're handling this whole Call of Duty marketing. This is supposed to be, the return of Black Ops, the return to the Cold War. And you just want to, make people do fucking complicated ass Easter eggs that nobody gives a shit about and just, release the trailer whenever you want to release it? You want us to do it? Really? Come on now. Anywho, I am making this video for you guys to, give my thoughts about the alpha overall and what I think are my first impressions of the alpha, or first impressions of Black Ops Cold War. Based off of the alpha, however you want to see it. And as I said, there's a lot to talk about, and I have a lot on my mind about this game. And the rant had nothing to do with what I think of the game. I think that the game's foundation is great. I love the time setting. I like the gameplay. I like the guns that they're bringing. I like the gunplay. I think what they have is great. I think that the problems or the issues that it has are pretty major. And I'm going to be getting into those problems in a second. But the foundation, what I'm saying is the foundation that Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War has, with, them fixing Infinity Ward's mistakes from, Modern Warfare with, the minimap returning back to the way it should be. Health bars, all those sort of stuff, They're making some good choices for their multiplayer. It's just some things are just holding it back from being great. And what could be a good Call of Duty that could be great for the next few years. But anyways, getting straight into it. One of my biggest issue, if not the biggest issue from the alpha, and what really disappointed me the most about this game, were the maps. If there's one thing I hope to see an improvement from Modern Warfare, were the maps. And the maps visually from the leaked gameplay and what they showed during their multiplayer reveal live stream, they looked, like gray maps. They're colorful, and especially, Miami, it looked vibrant. It was a nighttime and stuff. I actually thought the maps were going to be good this time around. But oh boy, man. I was so wrong. I just ended up being so disappointed with how the maps came out. It felt as if the maps that I played on were just leftover or scrapped maps that were in Modern Warfare that were redesigned and remodeled for this game. I'm not joking. These maps were minimum medium size to humongous. Miami is probably, one of the worst maps I've ever played on. Is it up there with Piccadilly? Maybe. I mean, Miami was just something different. Not in a good way. What doesn't help is that on that map, it's dark. And I'm going to get to this in a second. But I couldn't see shit. I just could not see shit. I mean, I know I left the default brightness at 50, and it's just so hard. It was just so hard for me to see shit on the map. I had to literally crank up the brightness in-game just so I can see on the map. And it doesn't help that people keep camping the same goddamn balcony and the same goddamn building on that map. It is just infuriating. It's so annoying. It's just dark as hell. And it's just, I just hated it. I completely hated it. I just don't like it at all. The only good thing about the map is the way it looks. There's a reason why people say, don't ever judge a book by its cover. And oh boy, you shouldn't judge this book by its cover, like I did. And it didn't help that the first match I had on the alpha took place on Piccadilly, playing Domination. And just the way it flowed, the way it played, it just really irritated me, It made me think, what the hell were they thinking at the studio when making these maps? Did they not see the backlash that Modern Warfare got by how shitty their maps were? I could literally go on all day about Miami and how terrible it is and why it shouldn't be in the final build of the game at launch. Take this map out of the game, please. And in terms of the other maps, well, they're somewhat the same thing. Moscow, there's just too many fucking buildings, and literally I got my first chopper gun on Moscow, and literally I only got maybe 3 or 4 kills max because of the amount of buildings there were in the map. And not only that, it's just the way the map flowed. It was alright. It wasn't great, it's just alright. I know a lot of people liked Moscow, out of all the maps, but I didn't have like an absolute favorite map in this alpha, but I would say Moscow was the closest map that could resemble what Call of Duty feels like. But not by a long shot, definitely not. But still, it was the closest thing. And then Satellite, I don't really like Satellite that much. It's okay. As I said, it's not great. I literally got 2 chopper gunners on that map. Yeah, it's the map where I pop off sometimes, but still, I don't really like, the sand areas and how people leverage themselves, how deep, snipers can get their shots and stuff. It's just, I don't really like it. And I don't really like the satellite spot. People, if you just camp on that satellite, you basically have a high vantage point. It reminds me of Euphrates Bridge from Modern Warfare, that 10v10 map. I don't know if you guys remember that. I don't blame you if you do. But essentially it was just two sides, and then there was a bridge in the middle, and then whoever controlled that bridge essentially controlled the whole game. That's what Satellite felt like to me a little bit. And yeah, I didn't really like much of the 6v6 maps they had to offer. Same goes to 12v12. 12v12 is just, maps on a larger scale. The bow map was just, pick a spot, get a sniper, and if you can, try to pick people off. You're just ziplining through boats and then trying to find people, and hopefully, you try to find somebody, try to cap the points. I didn't like 12v12 at all in this game either. And I just think the maps overall are just not that great. I'm highly disappointed with how Treyarch executed the maps this year, and I think most people can agree on that front, I should say. But all I'm going to say, or what I'm going to leave off with this section, the map portion, is if this is the best that Treyarch has to offer in terms of maps, I'm scared for what else they have to show in terms of 6v6 and 12v12. I know Treyarch is going to come in and try to fix everything, it's like, oh, it's alright. We're going to put Nuketown in the game anyway. We're going to put, Firing Range, Jungle, all those maps back in the game. Like, It's lazy. It's definitely lazy, and I've said this before. I do not want them to remaster maps and just keep bringing them back because it's late, because it's very lazy. But that's what it looks like it's gonna turn out to be in this game, because the backlash, or not the backlash, but the feedback about the maps is not that good, and I feel like remakes is just gonna be a band-aid on the wound. Well, hopefully this is just these maps only, and hopefully the rest of the maps are better. I'm just trying to be optimistic as possible, but if we're being realistic, if most of the maps are like what we saw in the alpha, this game is going to be a shitfest, just like Modern Warfare. If there's one thing that killed, if there was one thing that killed Modern Warfare, it was the maps. That's what really that's what really put the nail in the coffin for Modern Warfare. It was the maps. And to this day, they still haven't improved on the maps. They fucked up remakes or remasters of maps. I don't know, maybe these studios are just out of touch with how to make maps, but hopefully it improves. I'm trying to stay optimistic about it because it's Treyarch. They know how to make maps, but just from the alpha, I'm starting to get a little bit skeptical with how the development process is going over there. But anywho, let's move on to one of my next problems. I could not see shit. I just couldn't see shit. I was playing on the launch PlayStation 4. I was not playing on a PS4 Pro. And this thing is pretty much 7 years old. It's getting pretty old now. And I know we're going to the next generation of consoles very soon, you know, with the launch of the Xbox Series X and S and the PlayStation 5. Those consoles are going to be way more powerful than their previous predecessors. So I'm not sure if they built this game for the PS4. And I know the PS4 is getting old now. Let's be honest. The PS4 and the Xbox One are getting old. They're outdated tech at this point. And visually, I saw it. Textures were now loading. I'm not sure if this was the game or something, but textures are now loading. Very long load times. Game looked very blurry at times. You know, the render distance was just not great. Visually, it was not appealing to the eyes. Let's just put it that way. But I'm pretty sure, you know, at this point, the PS4 is old. You know, it's making it hard for developers to put, you know, visual quality before, you know, hardware, because the hardware is so limited. And this game definitely shows that, because it does not look great on the base PS4. There was frame rate drops as well. I forgot to mention that. It's just, it doesn't run well on a PS4. I'm not really sure if it runs better on a PS4 Pro. That you can let me know in the comment section down below. But the game didn't run that well for me on the launch PlayStation 4. And at times it just felt, you know, unplayable. You know, with the way it looks. I mean, it's not that bad. The way I'm saying it, it's like, oh, I can't play it. I can't see shit. No, it's not that. It's just, it doesn't look that great. Not that great. And at times it's just, I can't see people from a distance. You know, it's very blurry. It's just, it's very hard to play with that type of graphic fidelity. Who knows? Maybe on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X it'll look a lot better and it'll play a lot better on those systems. But, you know, obviously PC's gonna play it the best. But on PlayStation 4, it did not run that well. And probably will run worse on an Xbox One, since the specs are a little bit weaker on the Xbox One. So, yeah, not looking very good for the current generation right now for Call of Duty. But we'll just have to see how those consoles do with the game. But we're running off that topic. Let's get into the next piece of feedback I have for Treyarch. Ninja. Yeah, Ninja. The audio, okay, I just want to bring this up first before I go into Ninja. The audio is great. The audio is fantastic in not Modern Warfare. I wish I could say Modern Warfare. The audio is great in Cold War. I can hear footsteps. That is one thing I am so happy about this game. I can hear footsteps. And I was so shocked, because I was just so used to, you know, footsteps being, the footsteps from Modern Warfare being, like, oh, it's a 50-50. You might hear the guy, you might not hear the guy. You didn't hear the guy, but the guy heard you in the kill cam. It was just a mess overall. But in Cold War, footsteps can be heard, and it is directional, so you know where they're coming from. I know at one point I got a double kill because I heard two people in one door room, and I just automatically knew, like, wow, they actually fixed audio in this game. You can actually hear footsteps. Here's where it gets pretty interesting. They brought Ninja back. Yes, Ninja from Black Ops 1. It essentially works like dead silence in this game. When I equipped Ninja, I felt that it was useless. I did not think that it worked properly. I noticed that in my enemies' kill cams, people still heard me while I was rushing. So, Ninja does not work in this game. Ninja needs a buff. Dead silence needs to work like dead silence, essentially. Either eliminate the footsteps completely or just lower the sound. Lower it to the point where they can still be heard, but very quietly. Or just completely eliminate the audio of footsteps. I don't know, but those are one of two things they could do for Ninja, because Ninja desperately needs a buff because it did not work in the alpha, and I hope that's something that they could fix going to the beta, because I'm a rusher. I love to be aggressive. I love to get in people's faces, and just start rushing, rushing spawns, just looking around, like a chicken without its head, looking for people and just trying to get on a high kill streak. But I can't do that with Ninja. In this game, at least. But hopefully they fix Ninja, because because Ninja is a very friendly, rusher-friendly perk, because a lot of people who love to rush run dead silence. And especially since people can hear your footsteps in this game, people are going to run dead silence. Or Ninja in this case, but still. Fix it. Please make it work, because I was so happy to see dead silence back as a perk in this game. And the fact that it doesn't work is disappointing. But hopefully that can be done, rather quickly before beta. But we'll just have to see until beta rolls out within the next 2 weeks. Moving on to one of my biggest complaints about this game. The damn score streaks are way too fucking high. I understand that Treyarch is introducing a new system where you have to go on a streak, and get a higher score, to get your streaks. It's an interesting system, but I'm not really feeling it, to be quite honest with you guys. I just missed the normal score streak system, getting rewarded for my streak. I understand they're still trying to bring that, but still, I don't really like the fact that score streaks don't reset on death. And I just find it very confusing how these multipliers work. I still don't understand how these multipliers work. Do they stay at 150 if you stay on a kill streak that's, more than 4 kills, and then once you get on a 10 kill streak, do you get 450? I just still don't know how it works. I still don't know how it works to this day. But I understand what Treyarch is trying to do with the score streak system, trying to do something, new and something different. But what I don't understand is why they're increasing the scores of the score streaks. Like, why is a UAV 800 points? Why is an RCXD 600 points? Why is a chopper gunner 6,000 points? Like, what happened to the good old days of just a UAV being 3 kills? Or 400 points? What happened to the RC car being like 300 points? Like, guys, what happened? Am I the only one who thinks this? I don't know. Sound off in the comment section, guys, because I think this whole score streak increase is ridiculous. I understand why they did it, because the fact that score streaks don't reset on death. You have to work a little bit harder to get your score streaks. And I know some people like it, some people don't like it. I personally just find it confusing, and I don't understand why Treyarch just made it even more, the score streak system even more convoluted than it's ever been. But the fact that with each and every single game that they make, they just keep increasing the score of streaks. Like, UAV literally used to be 400 points in Black Ops 2, and then like 450 in Black Ops 3, I think, or it was 400. I can't really remember. But I know in Black Ops 4 it was 500, which was a weird change. And then now here we are in Black Ops Cold War, where you need 800 points for a UAV, and you literally get 50 points for each elimination. So if we do the math, let's just say with each kill, there was a death afterwards. So for every kill you got, you have one death. So let's just say you went, so for instance, so 22 and 22. I don't know, I'm just throwing numbers out there just for an example. It would take you 16 kills to get a UAV. 16 kills to get a single UAV. I don't know if that's where the multipliers kicks in when you get on a streak, but still, this system is just confusing, man. And I just wish that they just went back to the regular, okay, get X amount of points, you get the streak. I don't see what's so complicated about that. You get rewarded. I mean, yeah, you still get rewarded in this system, but it takes a fucking long time to get some streaks, man. I got maybe 3 chopper gunners that whole weekend that I played Cold War. It was ridiculous. And especially in TDM. TDM is probably the worst mode to play to get streaks like these. Like, if you want a chopper gunner in TDM, you're gonna need to go off that game because it takes a lot of kills to get the chopper gunner. And it doesn't help that, you know, all they have on the bottom right where your score streaks are, it's just a bar. Like, literally, it's just a bar. They don't even tell you how much score you need to get the damn streaks. Treyarch, can we please have some numbers? Like, is this so hard to put some numbers right next to your streaks just to know how much score you need just to get the damn thing? Is it that hard? I mean, you've done it before in your games. I don't know why you didn't do it in this one. But still, can we please have some numbers just so we know that we need X amount of score to get our damn streaks? Please. But yeah, I think these score streak values are way too damn high. They need to fix it before launch because it is impossible. I mean, not saying completely impossible, but it's almost nearly impossible to get streaks in this game, especially in TDM, especially since the kill limit is 75 and not 100. So it just makes it nearly impossible to get streaks. I mean, yeah, you'll get your spy planes, you'll get your, you know, your choppers, but like, god damn it takes forever. But yeah, score streaks need a huge overhaul in my opinion. Treyarch I feel like Treyarch should just go back to, you know, the way score streaks should be, because I don't really understand, you know, the multiplier stuff and how that works. I mean, I understand it and I get where they're coming from, but still, I prefer, you know, simple, because sometimes simple is better in my opinion. But yeah, score streaks, they need to fix the values because the values are way too damn high. And they're just impossible to get, man. And that's pretty much what I think of the whole score streak situation, you know, them implementing a new system. I respect Treyarch for implementing a new system into the multiplayer, but I don't know. It's a bit of a mixed bag for me. But anywho, I've saved the best for last, people. This was trending on Twitter for the whole weekend that the alpha was out. And you guys probably know where I'm going with this. And that is skill-based matchmaking in Black Ops Cold War. I get why skill-based matchmaking is in Black Ops Cold War in the first place, because I definitely felt it at times. Even though I understand that it's literally alpha and the only people that are playing are probably, you know, all the Call of Duty fans and the sweats and stuff. But still, I definitely felt some aspects of skill-based matchmaking. I definitely got my ass whooped at times. My first few games on were pretty, you know, relaxing. You know, it felt like just people playing, you know, casually. But then once I started to, you know, play more games, and as the time went on, that's when I started feeling it. And the fact that skill-based matchmaking was trending on Twitter, and everyone was voicing their opinions about skill-based matchmaking and how they did not want it to be in Black Ops Cold War. It was great seeing people complain, because it was great. It was good to know that I wasn't the only one. I mean, for God's sake, Scump, he's a pro Call of Duty player if you guys don't know him. Scump literally reverse boosted during that alpha weekend because he was sick and tired of the skill-based matchmaking impacting him. Scump literally played in the during the multiplayer reveal, and he literally kicked all the YouTubers' ass. And now I believe I'm not really sure, but I think, you know, Scump got, you know, some harder lobbies, during the alpha, and then Scump saying like, "Yo, I'm tired of this skill-based matchmaking bullshit." Literally reverse boosted and posted it on his Twitter. You can check that out. And he was just tired of it. People are tired of skill-based matchmaking, and people have just had enough. And this whole bullshit of just skill-based matchmaking has always been in Call of Duty. Like, no, this is just Activision and these developers trying to push the agenda of skill-based matchmaking because it makes them money, especially with new players. Because new players or noobs, they're not really good at the game, and they're not good at the game. They're just gonna stay with other people who are not good at the game, and it's gonna convince them to play the game even more. Like, hey, this game's kind of fun, casual. But like for us average Call of Duty players, in sweats, we're just gonna get paired up with each other, and it's gonna be miserable. If there's one thing that killed Modern Warfare, for me at least, it was the skill-based matchmaking, and I know a lot of people would feel the same way. So the fact that skill-based matchmaking is in Black Ops Cold War does not surprise me at all. It just doesn't. Skill-based matchmaking makes Activision money, and that means, more players, and they're more likely to buy the game each and every year. And it's just the business strategy of Activision. That's what it is. It's just a business strategy. Just so they can sell more microtransactions to that player base, the ones that aren't good. I always have thought that connections should be prioritized in matchmaking and nothing else. If I live in the East Coast of the United States, I should be playing with other people in the United States that live on the East Coast, or somewhat close to the United States East. It's not that hard of a concept to grasp, Activision. People do not enjoy skill-based matchmaking. Regardless, people will still buy the game. They're still gonna play it. I mean, they'll stop playing it maybe within a month or two because of the matchmaking and how it's affecting their experience with the game. But at the end of the day, Activision doesn't give a fuck about you. They literally give a fuck about how much money they're gonna make at the end of this year, and just meet their quota. And it's not a hard fix, to be honest, because literally all you have to do is put skill-based matchmaking in the ranked playlist. There's a reason why pubs are called casual and ranked is more skill-based, because ranked is a competitive playlist. Skill-based matchmaking indicates competitive. Skill-based matchmaking should not indicate, public matches or casual. And it's about time people start realizing that skill-based matchmaking is becoming a big issue in the Call of Duty games. Because it's ridiculous, man. What happened to the good old days of just having fun? Just grabbing a controller, playing with your friends at a party, having a good time. Whatever happened to that? Now people just have a horrible time. And especially, solo, because skill-based matchmaking really affects solo players like me, because you get paired up with sweats and it's not fun. It's just not fun. And the only way I say to solve this is to make casual play or just regular pubs connection-based matchmaking. That's just literally prioritize connection. That's all. No stats, no KDs, nothing of that sort. Just connection or region-based matchmaking. It could work. And they have the resources and the money to do that. But you know what? That's not going to make them as much money. That's not going to make Activision that money that they've been making this past year. But yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to. Money. Knowing how Activision is, they're going to put skill-based matchmaking, or they're going to keep skill-based matchmaking in Black Ops Cold War, and it's going to make them enough money, maybe even more money than Modern Warfare ever could, because I know Modern Warfare has been, especially Warzone, the most profitable game out there for Activision. So yeah, if you ask me, yes, I think skill-based matchmaking should be taken out of the game completely. But are they going to do it? Probably not. So I'm just trying to be realistic here, guys. But knowing how Activision is, money will always be the priority because they're a business. And that's the goal. That's the whole entire goal of businesses overall, is to make money. But yeah, overall, the alpha to me was not a great experience for me. I'm hoping that they take the mistakes of the alpha and fix them, and then put them towards the beta, and here's hoping that the beta turns out much better than the alpha. But just to wrap it up, guys, pretty much what I think are the main issues of Black Ops Cold War. The maps suck. I can't see anything. Not sure if it's because of the PS4. Ninja needs to be buffed. The score streak values are way too high. It makes it nearly impossible to make them to earn them in TDM, and skill-based matchmaking, obviously. So, yeah, those are my main problems with Black Ops Cold War. Overall, I did not have a good experience of the alpha, and hopefully the beta is much better. Hopefully they get the necessary fixes done for beta, because I really want this game to succeed. I really do. And this rant was pretty much just feedback. It was constructive criticism. It's the best way to put it. It's constructive criticism, and I really want this game to succeed, because I know Treyarch is they're one of my favorite developers for the Call of Duty series, especially with the Black Ops series. But you know, just to see all this happen, it makes me sad. It really does. And the alpha was not a good experience. I'm hoping the beta does something different. And yeah, man, I just think those are my main problems overall. But anyways, guys, I apologize for the lengthy video. I know this was a very long video, but I just had to put my review out there for the alpha for Black Ops Cold War. But if you guys stick to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. Again, I do apologize for the long video. I did not mean to make it this long. But anywho, if you guys enjoy the video, make sure you leave a like on the video. Comment down below your thoughts on the Black Ops Cold War alpha. And if you enjoyed it, and what changes would you like Treyarch to make for the beta or for launch? Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I will be having more content up soon on the channel, so stay tuned for that. And I will see you guys later. This is Red Horse Noggle. Peace out, guys.